Now that you have your Demi all set up and you are ready to start applying it, first thing you're gonna wanna do is snap a before photo. This goes for if you are a customer or an artist. Taking a photo so you can see the progress is really going to help you. It's also sometimes a little bit easier to identify color in a photo versus when you're this close to your face. And then look at your face. We are going to look at the colors on our face. So as we can see, and we're gonna pick the things that are distracting. So for me today, a distracting thing is this blemish, these dark marks where my glasses have been sitting, and then maybe my birthmark up here that I have that's kind of purpley red. Those are the three things I'm going to focus on filtering today. So step one, I'm just gonna start with some sculpt. The sculpts are laid out here and they are based on the color wheel as well. So I have a neutral green, neutral yellow, neutral orange. I'm going to grab some neutral red. Now you can, or maybe you can't see, but I have a lot of green tones, or maybe a little bit of yellow too up here. So I'm gonna grab some neutral red and I'm going to start with my sculpt first. When you start with sculpt, it really kind of eliminates some of the things that you need to filter. And also it's really important if you have, say, a blemish or something you want to filter in your sculpt zone. If you filter it first with a brightening shade and then come back in with a sculpt, you're just going to wipe it on and off. So it's important to sculpt first. So I'm just taking some neutral red, and then where I have some of these like lighter, brighter areas, I'm going to use a little bit of neutral violet. And I am just going to kind of tone. I'm just toning down this. It looks kind of yellowy right here in the center. Just taking a little bit of that neutral violet to kind of tone down those green and yellow tones. Over here too, I have a bit of a shadow, and you may be looking at this too and being like, I don't see green or blue, but I know if there is a shadow that it has to have blue in it because it's dark. So anything blue, we know from the color wheel, is green or blue or purple. Now, if something was purple, it means it would have red in it, which means it'd be vibrant. This doesn't look like a vibrant color, so I know that it's either blue or green. So I'm gonna use some neutral red. As you can see, this is very subtle. So this is something you're gonna have to get used to with Demi. This is not a, you immediately put concealer under your eyes and you can see that it's doing something. You have to trust the process with Demi, and it's a process. Neutral violet plus one, so this darker one, just to kind of get my hairline. Going to filter distraction. So distraction number one, this is it. Now, thing to remember with blemishes is you might look at that and say that's just red, and it does have red in it for sure. We can see the red, but with Demi we're filtering excess color. If it is a true red, it would be fire engine red, really, really bright. And I'm not seeing a ton of like vibrance. There's definitely some around it, but it's a little bit dark too. So I'm thinking there's some blue. There is some excess blue in there, probably purple too, because it does look a little bit vibrant, but it's not like fire engine red vibrant. So, and we're gonna start with filtering the darkest point, which is right in the center of this blemish. I am going to take some yellow orange 1 because I think this is kind of purpley blue. And I'm using the tiniest amount of makeup possible. If you start covering this blemish and you go outside of where the color is, you're gonna start getting a targeting or a halo effect, and it's gonna make the blemish stand out even more. So we are just touching color to color with Demi. Taking a little bit of orange yellow 1, because I think the outer part is a little bit more purple than it is dark blue. This is the best part of Demi, is that blemish is gone. There's no texture if it's done right which there is a tiny bit of texture that I can see, but you can't see it in the camera. No texture. That blemish is gone. I've used the smallest amount of makeup, and the best part is it's going to last all day because I've used the smallest bit and it's the correct color. Now I'm going to go to my next distraction, which is right up here. This is this birthmark, and this is a kind of blue purple. It, like in person, it looks purple. But I know it's kind of dark, and there are different parts of it, and I am just going to hit the darkest points. When you have a color on your face that is bigger than the size of a sesame seed, that means it's probably more than one color. So even if you have a big patch of like redness right here, you wouldn't want to take a whole green, cover your entire face with green. You have to look within the spot if it's bigger than a sesame seed and determine the colors within that color. And you will be blown away what doing just a few of the darkest points first really does for the entire look. I am going to take a little bit of, surprisingly, that same color that I used down on my chin down here, but I'm going to do some, it is a yellow-orange one, and I'm just going to hit this very lightly. And again, I'm just kind of touching the darkest points of it. And you can see I kind of have to like move around to even see it. But once I filter out this spot, like it just makes the rest of my forehead look so much smoother. And so it's a part of my face that I focus on. Now, it's important to remember, as you're touching, can you see how where I touched it, it got more red? And that's because I'm bringing blood to it. So you have to do kind of a place and pray. So look at the color, determine the color, get the color you're gonna filter out with, place it on there, move to a new spot. If you start messing with something too much, it's gonna bring more blood, it's gonna change the color, and you're gonna get frustrated. So we're kind of bouncing around a lot with Demi, which is normal. Okay, so I have this darker spot up here, and this is actually a bit more green. You can see it's kind of got, like it's dark, but it looks a little earthy or like brown. And so I'm going to take a little bit of R01. Can you see how it disappears? It's kooky. It is kooky. Okay, these spots look a little, these are dark as well, and they are kind of like, they're kind of like a red. They kind of look purpley almost. I'm gonna grab a yellow-orange.
And see if we can't filter these out a little. There may be some green in here as well.
Spots on where my glasses have been sitting all morning. Now these look dark and kind of purple and kind of red. So you can see there's like a darker area right there. I am going to hit the darker area first, and I think that is a blue. So I'm gonna use 01. Okay. So it's still got a little bit of color right here. So I need to determine what this color is. It looks kind of red, but it's not fire engine red. So I think it's purple. So I'm gonna use some yellow-orange one. First, I'm gonna hit this freckle with a pink. Now, under eyes, you may look at under eyes and be like, okay, that's purple underneath there. But really, we don't want to be washing color underneath our eyes, because what's going to happen if I put a yellow right here is it's going to look textured, and it's going to do what concealer does. We're not putting concealer under our eyes. We are filtering out excess color. So you really have to get small or get up close, zoom in on the colors, and let's just focus on the darkest area. So you can see we have some dark spots in here, and I am going to just kind of zoom in on those. I'm gonna take some, we know it's dark, it's got blue in it, so I'm gonna take some orange.
Some of those
R01. We're gonna kind of try to counteract some of the green in here. Taking a little bit of R1. Okay, can you see that? See the difference in my eyes? And the crazy thing is I'm not touching everywhere. I'm just breaking up a couple of the under eye areas. You can see I've still got a little bit of something going on right here. I'm gonna use this brush and take the tiniest bit of orange yellow one.
And just try to hit that.
We've got some green through here. When I'm blending this, I'm not sweeping it. I'm literally just like tapping to get the extra stuff off so it covers where it's supposed to. And it's also really easy to overcorrect your under eyes, so don't do that. All right, I've got another dark spot right here. It is, like, if you zoom in, you can see it is a kind of broken capillary. I'm gonna try some GY. Yellow, orange. I'm gonna step towards orange a little bit. I think it might be more blue than purple. Using some yellow, orange one. Down here, there's some green R01. Like, this sides of my nose look more blue. So using NO. NV down here.
So pretty. I put it everywhere. It's great to dry too. You know, I'm just gonna put my lips as well.
Now, as this demi look all completed, it makes you look like you have baby skin. And the crazy thing is, like, 80% of this is my own skin, which is why it looks so beautiful, because your skin has layers and it has liquid and water and it breathes and it's alive. And because of all of those beautiful layers of skin, they reflect back light. It's like a marble floor. So if you think of a marble floor, it has grains in it and veins in it, and it reflects back light, and it has crystals in it, and they are just so beautiful. And that's why Demi is so revolutionary, because traditional foundation, you take a beautiful marble floor, AKA your face, and you paint it beige. And then you have to paint on all of your features. You have to add glitter to give you that. Do you see this? This is a little bit of sheer gloss and my skin reflecting that light. And so that's why Demi is so different and so cool. And it's one of my favorite things about it. My skin just looks really smooth and like skin.